play. So I want everybody to look at that. It says Texas offensive line, and look right underneath there. It said all runs that work separate the defense. So you can do this scheme by scheme, and I'm not going to do that right now. I can talk to you about it afterwards of how a gap scheme or an inside zone play separates the defense. But for an outside zone play to separate the defense, you need horizontal stretch on the front side, and you need to cut off the backside. Now, you don't have to cut everybody off on the backside. Sometimes you just need to cut one person off on the backside, because that's ultimately what's going to separate the defense. And you're not, again, you only need a little bit of a separation to make this play work. You can run the play strong and weak. You can run the play with sliders. You can run the play with inserts. You can run the play with RPOs. You can run, if you have a, again, we're not really in the quarterback run world very often, but if you are in that world, you certainly can add that aspect to the backside of the play as well. So to me, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to talk about this, if you said to me, all right, you can only run one scheme. You can only run one scheme. For me, it would be outside zone because of all the different things that I can do with it and how easily I can adapt it to different personnel groups, formations, again, the RPO game, the quarterback run game, all those things. So that's kind of the introduction to the play. For the running back, you're going to see when he's in the home position or he is in the pistol position, it is a scissor step, okay? When he's in the offset position, it's open crossover. I don't think there's anything revolutionary about that. The aiming point, okay, so we missed one on this slide, and this is my fault. Not Mitch Zalotti, who's here with me today, my graduate assistant, does an unbelievable job, and Darren Gatewood from Odessa Permian, who's my analyst, who couldn't be here today, but he does a phenomenal job. All three of us coach these guys together. When you're running the play to the weak side, it's really an outside leg of the play side tackle target. Very rarely do I see people run outside zone weak where it's wider than that. I can tell you who they are, but I don't see it very often. When we run this play to the strong side, you're running it at the outside leg of the tight end. Okay, now, there's two types of landmarks in football. There's two types of marks in football. There's landmarks that don't move, like the numbers on the field, they don't move. And then there's man marks. Man marks move. Okay, so we are chasing these aiming points, and they're moving with us at the running back position. Okay, so we're going to chase them. And then the running back mentality, and this to me, for the play to really work, this is the mentality the running back has to have. It is a stretch and puncture mentality. Because the worst thing that can happen to you as a running football team is your running back to get tackled with his shoulders sideways. If our running back's going to get tackled, I want his shoulders going towards the end zone. So we are looking for a stretch and puncture mentality. And when he sees the separation in the defense, I want him to stick his foot in the ground and go and get vertical. Okay, so the offensive line. So it's a zone play. Okay, so it's a zone. So we have play side gap responsibilities. So we have line calls, and we're going to talk about the targeting of the play and who we're blocking. But ultimately, it's a zone play. So if for some reason the free safety walks up pre-snap in the front side A gap, the center has the responsibility of that play side gap. He's got to block it. So it's a play side gap responsibility. It can be a people play, a spotted play, or a box play. So again, I'm not going to belabor this because I think a lot of times for my audiences, you guys live in the spotted world almost exclusively. Whereas for us in college, we have certain plays where the O-line, the 5-0 lineman and the tight end are going to block the 4-down lineman and the 2 linebackers. And somebody else is responsible to block the nickel. Somebody else is responsible to block the safety. It's the receiver or the quarterback on the RPO. Somebody else is responsible. Or you can spot the play. What does that mean? Well, that means if I'm the center, I look for the first body from the middle to the play side, and that becomes the Mike linebacker. Even if he's wearing number 32, and he's a safety in the media guide, it doesn't matter. He's become the Mike linebacker, or he's the guy the center's responsible for. And again, a lot of people live in that world exclusively, so I think you're familiar with that. Or it could be a box play.